to everybody here, just so everyone can at least kind of hear it? All right. So the first thing I know, some of you guys have walked around a little bit and checked out the bikes. You'll notice that they've got some defects here and there, some scratches, things like that. But for the most part, they're in pretty good shape. And as you're going to see that when we get them turned on in just a second as well. So we just ask that you try and take care of them as best you can. If you treat your personal motorcycle well, I know not everybody does, please do the same with ours. That is kind of how we live and eat, so I do appreciate you taking care of them. Another thing that I always like to get out of the way right away, if we come across an obstacle and you're just about certain that you can't get around it, over it, through it, whatever, like drop your pride, have somebody else do it. It's not worth dropping the bike, messing it up, and then two guys don't get to ride the rest of the trip. So that's why I have this big guy over here. By the way, this is my support truck driver. His name is Hernan. He'll be with us the entire time, driving the black alongside the white Toyota. So if I come across anything too tricky, he's a much better driver than I do. We do a quick switch, and I'm back on the bike. So another little note, if you've never ridden in Latin America before, you don't ever want to assume anything. So you always want to err on the side of caution. Yeah, common sense here may not be the same common sense back home, so just be aware of that. Please pay attention to road conditions because they can change quickly. We're going to go down here to a little town called Langostura, and from there we're going to start to climb. There's a police checkpoint there. Past the police checkpoint, as we go up and up and up, there's always road construction. So be very aware of that. Sometimes it's manned with guys there kind of guiding us, other times it's not. So it's important for everyone to just pay attention. All of our bikes have all of the required documentation to circulate on Bolivian roads, but not all that stuff is on your bikes. That's what they're not on the support truck. So if the police stop you, talk to you, play it calm, Hernan will be there with the stuff, we'll bail you out, and we'll be on our way. Continuing with the bike theme, right now they're all set once they're warm to run at about 1,300-ish RPMs, which will give you some nice engine braking. As we start to climb, those might start to drop, and so just let me know and we'll adjust the idle just a little bit, bring it back up. The most important thing then is, when we're starting to drop elevation again, we got to move that back down, otherwise you're going to lose engine braking power. So I'm not sure that's going to happen on our way to Sucre, but it might, so just be aware of it, we'll take care of it. Motorcycles don't pay tolls here in Bolivia, so we're always just going to scoot right on through. However, Dan and my driver Hernan, they will have to stop and pay. So if there's a bit of a line, we'll just pass through the toll, pull off to the side where it's safe, wait for them to come through, and then they'll catch up with us and we'll continue on.
What about, some are tolls and some are police checks?
Right.
Should they cruise through the police checks or stop?
Right, well, I'll let you know. If I cruise through it, then cruise right on through. They're going to give me the sign like right away, and if they stop me, there's a good chance they're going to stop you. If they only want me, I'm going to wave you on through. We don't want to stop at them if we don't have to. It just slows the whole thing down. Does that answer your question pretty good?
I think so, yeah. Just follow Chris's speed.
Yeah.
But don't run away from any authorities.
Please don't do that, no.
Right. So if they wave you, but wave like the sixth guy or something.
Stop.
Yeah, then just stop.
Yeah.
Well, what's the gesture for those stop? Will they?
Yeah, they'll stop. They'll come out. They have a rope usually across the road. They'll pull that up.
Oh.
They're gonna make you try and stop you. I mean, on a motorcycle, there's always a way that you could get around it usually, but it's not wise. The benefit of this particular tour is we should only have just a couple of those, so it shouldn't be a big issue. That's another important point. So we've got 7 bikes that are on the road today, plus 2 support trucks. It's really important that you're always paying attention to the person behind you, especially as we're turning. What we want to avoid is those big backtracks because someone didn't see someone else turn and kept going straight. So try and stay within a reasonable distance of each other, and always be checking your mirrors to make sure that the guy behind you is still there. I don't mind if you guys change order. It doesn't bother me at all. Just know who should be behind you, okay? Depending on the weather, when we hit the dirt roads, the gravel roads, it could be a little bit dusty to very dusty. So when that happens, if you can just increase your distance just a little bit, That'll help out the air filters, keep the bikes running better for longer on the trip, and save me some maintenance midway through the trip as well. So I appreciate your help with that. We're going to stop several times during the ride today besides just lunch, and typically those stops are for taking pictures. If you find something along the road that we're not stopping for and you want to get a picture of it, stop. That's no problem. Catch back up to us. Maybe we'll stop as well. Just please don't be stopping every 5, 10, 15 minutes. We're never going to get there. Hopefully that's clear. Flat tires. It's normal. It almost always happens. It almost definitely happened on this tour. But if you pay attention to the surface that we're riding on, I mean, Bolivia is famous for having these just nasty big thorns that can poke through one side of your tire and out the other side. If you're conscious and paying attention to like what's ahead of you, you can avoid a few flats. It's probably going to happen anyways. I'd rather do 1 or 2 than 4 or 5. So just be conscious about that, and we'll have a much better time. As far as food and drinks go, we cover 3 meals a day. We don't do alcoholic beverages regardless. If that's your thing, it's on you. All snacks as well that you want to buy along the way, that's on you. We do the big meals, we do the attractions we're going to stop in and see, museums and whatnot. But besides that, any other little thing you want to buy along the way, souvenirs, that's all on you. Yes. When I give you your keys, the key is just for the ignition. All of my bikes have aftermarket tanks, so if you try and put the ignition key into the gas cap and turn it, something bad will most likely happen. So I have all of the keys to your gas caps. When we go to fill up, I'll pull it out, we'll fill it, I'll lock it back up, we'll continue on our way. Which leads me to my next point. When we stop to get gas, I like to try my best to, rather than have to pay one bike at a time, you get in a nice row, put gas in all of them, I pay one time, they give me one receipt, and we're good. They don't always cooperate, but we'll try our best. So try and not let there be space between you and another vehicle that kind of sneaks in. We'll try and keep a nice row of just our bikes. I guess just about lastly, I mean, Bolivia is definitely still a developing country, so things are most likely at some point in time not going to go the way that we have planned, the way that we want it to go, so we just ask for patience. And I think that if we have a little bit of patience, we're all going to have a much better time these next 5 days. So, I mean, things like a hotel reservation that all of a sudden disappeared, I mean, just stuff like that we can fix, but kind of throws a wrench into things. It's easy to kind of get down, and we're going to try not to do that.
Sometimes road construction, they'll actually shut the road down for 4 hours.
Yeah, so, and we'll do our best on motorcycles to get around that, but what that most likely means is that our truck is going to be hung up, so we won't make it to our hotel, we have nothing to change into, so again, it's a bit of a downer, but it's workable. Okay, everyone's got international permits. The next thing I wanted to say is on my bike 1 and my bike 7, they have some tires that are really apt at reaching up and grabbing license plates, which I've actually taken off, and Hernan has all those, but it still grabs the inner fender. What am I getting at? If I can have the 2 to 4 lightest guys riding bikes 1 and 7, that would save me some time and some money after the trip to save those fenders. So you guys kind of know who you are, you can figure that out. And then I'm not sure if you guys already have it figured out, but in my mind anyways, I was thinking you guys kind of team up with bikes, right? Meaning you're always going to have 1 of 2 guys riding bike 1, 7, 3, whatever. If you want to do something else, I'm totally fine with that. Go ahead, Dan. No nothing. So I'm not gonna monitor that. It's just maybe so everyone gets a fair crack, gets to ride roughly the same amount of time. That's kind of the idea that I had. So,
I think today we're switching at lunch.
at lunch? Excellent. Okay. And then, so 2 lunch is all paved. The next little bit after that is all paved. At some point, then we're going to switch over to gravel for approximately the last hour and a half, 2 hours. So if you guys want to then switch at about an hour through that, so everyone gets to ride a little gravel, it's up to you because the following day is all gravel. And so,
Let me say, our first filter stop is in Bermejo, and you and the 6 guys that are on the bikes,
right.
If you want to, you can make the little run up to the lookout at the, you know that road.
Laguna.
No.
Another one.
There's another one just before it, Bed of Mango. You've never been up there?
I've only gone down to the river there where it comes together.
No, there's about a 5-kilometer climb before the Bed of Mango. It's a fantastic view down at the volcano. It's on the opposite side of the valley from Laguna Volcano.
Okay.
And y'all can run up there while we set the filter up and do the stands and stuff. If you want to.
Yeah, if you just want to make sure I catch the right road, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go around 17, 20 miles down the road here, and we're going to come across the first police checkpoint, and it's usually the one where they're the biggest sticklers. So I had ideas. There's a way you can kind of sneak around it, but oftentimes they have police sitting over there. So I think we're better off going right through it, showing the documents, and then moving on. So, any other questions before we get going here?
What's the Spanish word for license?
Licencia. Probably they're going to ask for the same stuff for me, so as they're asking for me, I'll let you know.
Cool.
All right.